Hello, dreamers. Welcome back to the Mystic Hawk YouTube channel, and welcome to this week's collective ancestor reading. And what an interesting reading that the ancestors have put together for me, for you guys this week. Again, I say this week, but all these readings are timeless. So whenever you click onto them is exactly the right time. Whether you want to know about the number 555, I'll get to that. 5 things you need to know about 555. Stay tuned. Whether you want to know about wands or key crystals, etched crystals. Speaking of crystals, check out the crystals I have available at Mystic Hawk Crystals on Etsy. And thank you to all of you that have already purchased a crystal. I do have some new ones up for sale, and we'll be listing that. And not only that, I've got some new products that I've been developing behind the scenes since I've talked to you last. It all has to do with what I've already talked about. Wands. Yes, I have actual little wands. This is rosewood. I've been working on it. This is a nice little staff or a walking stick. Check it out. Let's see if I can get it in here so you can see the rosewood. And I'm just started to sand this one, but look at all the beautiful woodwork there is in this. And once it gets sanded down, beeswax. I don't put anything unnatural on my wands. There'll be a big crystal on this one. This one will have some crystals in it as well. And that's rosewood, and that's from a Lady Banks rose that when I was doing my landscaping job last year, I cut it back. It had frozen all the way to the ground, and so I had to cut all the canes back, and I saved the canes, and they have now seasoned out for a year and ready to be turned into wands. This one is a sycamore wand right here. Check it out. I haven't got the crystal, so it's still a work in progress, but check out, I don't know if I can, there you see how I do the coil wrap of the copper, and this one's attached to the crystal. So when I hold on to it, so I can get it in there, hold on to it with my hand like this, you can see that the copper makes contact with the crystal, which has my energy running through it. So really produces a very high energy wand to direct energy, however you choose to do it. My wands, they're for show, but yeah, they work too. So there you go. This is actually a piece. This is still the raw piece of some cedar wood. And once I get it sanded down and oiled and beeswaxed, it's going to be a really nice wand here as well. So we're all talking about wands. So what does all this wandy talk about? Well, I've got a download as well about the wands, especially as I was working with them and looking at my pile of wood out there to be worked on. I got the tent. I started seeing this particular card of the Ten of Wands. And this particular side, because there's two sides. There he is. He's walking toward the big manor house, carrying this heavy load on his back. Looks like he's about to break his back. You look on this side, and he's looking down at the ground. And that's all he sees. He just sees a few steps ahead of him. And I don't know what's going on with this camera and the lighting, so I'm tired of messing with it. I got it to work. So anyway, so long as you can see the cards and get the lesson, that's what's important, right? So he's looking at the ground. He's got this heavy load and this statue behind him, so it's going to be set in stone that you're forever going to be this workhorse kind of person. And I think a lot of us, that's what Spirit was trying to tell me, showing a lot of us have taken on these heavy loads, or we're carrying these heavy burdens. Some of it is stuff from the past, really heavy energy or memories, or telling those same old stories, being in situations around people, places, and situations that put a heavy burden on us, oftentimes unnecessarily. It even talks about how we take on burdens more than we need to carry at once. Even if we're all excited and say you want to start a new business or something, and you have all these ideas, started out with the Ace of Wands, and 2, then 3. Next thing you know, you got all these ideas, you want to do them all at once, and there's that 10 of Wands on your back. And what Spirit was trying to tell me, because here I am, my landscaping season started, I'm trying to get back in the swing of things on YouTube, and at least getting something out within a week, roughly a week to 10 days. Hey, that's more consistent than I was before. So I have to give myself kudos for that, instead of going, I haven't done my 3 videos for the week. And I'm going to build up to it. That's what, I have to realize for myself, that I can't keep putting so much on, doing Instagram and all this stuff. Okay. I'm just using me for an example of that's what I did to myself. I have all this to do. Not necessarily. A lot of times our minds, our egos, our big eyes, if you ever gone through a buffet and you end up loading up your plate, your eyes end up being too big for your stomach. That's kind of how it happens. Oh, by the way, check out, we got our fellows here, the Aboriginals, as our ancestors to help us out on this journey, to help us talk about wands and carrying too heavy of a load. You know what these guys do? They're sitting here, they're preparing to go on a walkabout. And you don't want to go on a walkabout with this heavy load. You're not going to get very far, right? And what eventually happens when we carry these heavy, heavy loads, the Spirit was showing me, is like, you're just going to end up doing this, just dropping them. But he's holding on to that one single wand. Yes, there's 9 of them on the ground. He just couldn't do it anymore. It gets to a point when we put so much on ourselves, so many, maybe family responsibilities, work responsibilities, involved in clubs or trying to do a side job, whatever it is, it just gets to be too much. And to the point where we get exhausted. It could be too much worry, too much concern about what's going on in the world, taking on all this stuff. Turn off your television, people. I'm telling you, it really helped my mental health. Just to click it off, check in with the weather, see the news once or twice a week. That's what I do. You do what you do. But I tell you what, I really did have the 10 of Wands, kind of feeling all that pressure and everybody's problems that I could do nothing about on my back, to the point where it ends up being a breaking point. Whatever the situation, it's about taking on too much for that moment. Doesn't mean that all of these situations and these ideas, or at least most of them, can't get done. But we can't do it all at once, especially starting new things all at once, along with carrying all the past burdens and stuff along with us. So that's what eventually ends up happening, is that 10 of Wands. So here this guy is. He got as far as he could, and he ended up dropping all these wands because he was exhausted. He couldn't do it anymore. The next thing he knows, he's got the bandits coming up on him, and he's having to fight them off because they want to steal the wands that he dropped, right? Again, this is the 7 of Wands. So, okay, there's a 7 of Wands, and a lot of times that's having to defend your position. That's your ego having to, this is why I'm doing this, or these can all be all these distractions that we have that can keep us away from what I'm seeing is the 3 main things. You take 7 and minus 7 away from 10, you got 3. So what Spirit has been telling me is to get 3 of the main things that we need to focus on. That would be, take care of food and shelter. And if you have children, we have to take care of our children if they're underage and stuff like that. Those things have to be a priority. But self-care, don't forget about self-care, because this guy, he was taking care of everything and everybody else's responsibility, helping out this person, that person, all that, maybe time that he needed to spend for self-care. It got on the back burner. He kept putting it on the back burner to the point where he broke. He had to just drop it all. And next thing you know, oh my God, what are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about that? Everybody coming at him at once. Well, this is the 9 of Wands, but in this card, this is the after tarot, by the way. And this card, it shows he ends up having a friend, but he's been so used to having to defend himself and his position, he's a little suspicious of that friend. But hey, man, this guy came along and helped him fight off the robbers and get all his wands back. So, okay, maybe somebody got away with one. I don't know. But anyway, here's his friend, and his friend could be an actual person, or it could be somebody some situation that Spirit come along. You're never alone. There's always somebody there with you if you only call out for help. Some guardian there. So he had a little guardian angel or a buddy. Said, I know a guy with a boat, and instead of carrying all of these wands, instead of trekking along with all these energies, let somebody else help. Because again, we're coming up in the age of Aquarius, and that's not about everyone being an island. It's everyone being their own independent self within a community where everybody has their own unique, that's another thing, they have their own unique gifts. Just like here in the Beyond Lemuria deck, everybody has their own unique gifts to bring to the situation. Okay? And perhaps, this might be a business partner that you come across, or just a friend that says, hey, I got a little extra time. You've always been there to help me. I'll come along and help you out. Could have been a stranger. We don't know. It's very different for all of us. Again, this is collective reading. General reading may or may not resonate with everybody, right? But it can also be a love partner or both in the situation. But there's two people now, whatever the situation, two people together to carry all of these wands instead of one person trying to do it. So what Spirit was trying to tell me, as well as wanting for me to give you this message, is to delegate. It's time to really have to prioritize and delegate, okay, during these crazy, wild times, because it's very changing times and we have to be flexible. It's very hard to be flexible when we're carrying 10 wands on our back with our nose to the ground, okay? So what it ended up, he made a deal with this guy here. This is another 7 of Wands in the vice versa deck. He made a deal with this guy here, and they hired a boat. And then he ended up just carrying the 3 wands by himself. There he is with his eagle or his hawk and sending a message out. See, I just got a message. That's really wild. Okay, sending a message out to the ship captain to see when his ship is going to come in, because the boat is bringing him his load across the water. And while that's happening, while he's waiting for his ship to come in, he becomes this 3 of Wands, this master of destiny. Look at that lit up wand he has. So powerful, so charged up. Sorry, if I put this on autofocus, it's going to give us both a headache. Man, zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, so hopefully we can look at it this as best we can. He has the other 2 wands beside him. But see, that's doable. So if you're feeling overwhelmed or I just can't carry this anymore, drop things that aren't absolutely important to get done right now, okay? And make a list, prioritize, focus on the most important thing that you have to do in that moment, and then perhaps make a list for the next day, and so on. So you don't have to be burdened by and carry all this weight, and let go of other people's problems. Let go of the world's problems. We can't really do anything about that except for meditate and pray and ask for peace, love, and harmony all over the world, right? And for people to be healthy, whatever the situation. That's the best we can do, and we do so much better. Look how confident he is. Look how he is standing up with the world in his hands. Looks like I got the world in my hands. Look at it as opposed to this guy. Which one of these 2 people do you want to be? Do you want to be a slave to your world? Or do you want to be a conscious co-creator, a dreamer? This is the dreamed, and this is the dreamer. This guy, he is carrying the weight. Everybody else he's helping other people build their dreams. This guy is creating his own dream, okay? There's a big difference, and I know a lot of you know that feeling, okay? So going from here to here requires us sometimes to drop the excess baggage. And a lot of it is baggage from our past and old stories that we tell ourselves. Speaking of unique gifts, those are our quirks and our unique gifts and what we can uniquely bring to the world. And I did shuffle these cards and pull one, so I want an animal card, and I got the platypus. You're talking about the most unique animal on this planet. Yes, it's a mammal that lays eggs, that has a tail like a beaver, a body like an otter, and a face like a duck. So it has a bill like a duck, it lays eggs like a duck, and the male on his back claw right here, let me put these cards down, on his back claw actually has a kind of like a little fang, a claw that is a stinger, so he can sting like a snake. He's got venom in the claw. So it's like a snake. a beaver, a duck, an otter. I swear this is one of those old Atlantean experiments left over. Anyway, he is one of the unique. So be unique. Be your own unique self, even if it's kind of a mixture of all these weird and wild things. Talking about answering the call. And what that is back to basics. And if you see this guy here, he is going on a walkabout with his friends. This is probably in Western Africa, in the plains. But it is talking about going back to basics. And if you notice, he has 3 wands. Something he can easily carry, 1 in his hand and 2 on his back, his sticks. And that's something that he can easily carry. Only what he needs, what is useful in that moment. So answering the call to being your unique self and dropping the excess. Now something else. Yes, I'm going to get to the tarot reading. I am going to actually do a quick reading for everybody. But Spirit wanted me to use these cards as an example. So we're going to put the 10 of Wands and the 3 of Wands here. And the guy doing the back to basics and the walkabout. Since we got the idea. It's time to drop those 7 wands. Answering the call, being your unique platypus self. And, what does it say on platypus? There's my glasses. Where's my glasses? Oh, stop complaining and focus your attention on the blessings of life. Now that brings me to, let me get over here. Where we go? Here we go. That brings me over here to the 555. This is a number I kept saying. 555. On the clock several times as I was preparing this over the last few days. And what 555 means is prepare for some fast changes. Talking about we need to be flexible and keep an open mind, I guess an open third eye as well. Keep an open mind and be flexible. There's going to be some surprises, and I think it has to do with this Uranus and Taurus, and it's hitting on the North Node, and we got a lot of intense things coming. I'm not an astrologer. I did listen to a few astrologers, and they were just spitting one transit out after another, and it's like, oh my. But we have got a lot of things going on, but there are 2 choices. We got a stellium happening in Aquarius, where we have Mars in Aquarius and Saturn in Aquarius. We got the warrior and we got the control system, right? And that is one aspect. That's one way that we could go. And depending on where your mindset is, where your mindset, where your feelings are, where your thoughts, what stories you're telling, what words you're putting out there, again, your starting point is going to depend whether you're going to end up with the Mars and Saturn or with the Jupiter-Neptune, which Jupiter-Neptune is in Pisces. That's the higher mind. And the song that goes along with this reading is down in the description down below. It's by Earth, Wind, and Fire. And it's keep your mind to the sky, just like Pisces does. Keeps their mind focused on the divine. Keeps their mind aligned with the divine so that you can be guided through these changes. If the divine says, drop those 7 wands, drop those 7 wands. You don't need them. The divine says you got all you need and probably too much. And some things need to be dropped. So again, being flexible because things might be a little surprise. So you have to be flexible. This guy is very flexible out there. Well, you can't see this, but anyway, he's very flexible going out there back to basics. Simplify, reduce, and center yourself, okay? Because when we're trying to take on all these extra burdens, we get very scattered. And it's really hard to focus and get things done. It also talks about focusing and developing strengths. So number 2, we need to decide to move forward. These guys have definitely made a decision to move forward in life. So he may be at the back of the line, but everybody is moving in a forward direction and at a really comfortable, nice pace. It's not uncomfortable, but they're making time each day. They're following spirit. They're following the path. And they have only what they need to carry with them, because that's what I'm hearing as we're moving from the 3rd dimension, heavier, denser energies where we felt like we had to carry everything on our back. It's time to lighten our load and move forward with only what we need. Number two, oh, okay, and it says stop replaying the past. Oh my gosh, we got to quit replaying the past and thinking of all of these things. Well, I can't do it. The last time I dropped all my wands, this and this fell apart, and this person got upset with me, or whatever. If I do this, I can't move forward. I can't let this situation down or this person down. Well, maybe you can, because we can't be all things to everybody. Sometimes we have to just let some things go, even only for a moment, long enough to get recentered and replenish ourselves, our own spirit. And once we do that, we're so much stronger to going out into the world. Again, focus on your strengths. And that also talks about releasing what restrains us. We may be needing to cut cords with situations, people, places, and things of the past that no longer resonate with us, that are not helping us to move in that forward direction. They're more like crabs in the barrel trying to pull us backwards and into the situations that make us feel like this Ten of Wands, with that heavy a weight on their back. It may make them feel jealous or threatened. I'm hearing more threatened when we go into I'm the master of my own destiny, Three of Wands situation. They feel a lot more comfortable when we're doing what they're doing, or especially if they're our boss, they want to see us in that Ten of Wands. You got to know your place, man, right? Instead of, what do you mean go on a walkabout? We got stuff to do. We got orders to fill, that kind of situation. So again, what does true happiness mean to you? That's again one of the things at 555, one of the things that needs to change. What truly makes you happy? Focus on that. It's talking about focus on the positive things. Number three, again, it's talking about focusing on the positive things, changing your perspective. If we're always in a victim mentality, perhaps there was a situation where somebody was really unjust and putting these heavy burdens on us. People were being really unfair, expecting too much. They were sitting on the couch eating bonbons while you were doing all the heavy work out in the garden, or, doing all the heavy lifting, the heavy stuff, whatever that means. Maybe actual physical heavy work, or it may be heavy emotional work, carrying the burden of the whole relationship while they're really not trying at all to do anything about it, whatever it is. It was so unfair what happened. Every time we tell those old stories, we're putting out like signals to the universe of saying, I want more of that. Oh, I'm a victim. Please send me more lessons to teach me how not to be a victim. So we need new thoughts, new words, a new mentality to go along with that. And what I've seen, so like, this person really did me wrong. Okay, that's my victim mentality. If they hadn't done this or said this or acted like this or whatever, I wouldn't be like this. Well, number one, you're giving your power away to that person, that situation, that place, whatever. You're giving all your power away, because if you take your power back and take your responsibility of, hey, I create my own reality with my thoughts and my feelings from my starting point. I can't blame this other person for what happened. There was something within me that drew this experience, that drew this lesson to me. And so how can I rewrite that script? Well, this person came along and it was really a challenge, and it was really an upsetting situation. But I learned how strong I was. I learned that I could stand up and stand my ground in situations that in the past I thought that would have been very frightening, or I'd even seen as dangerous. It all worked out in the end. Again, you're finding out how strong that is, the development, these lessons, and these people that seem like challengers, that seem like enemies, adversaries, and all of that. They often show us really how strong we are as we work our way out of that stuff and out of those situations. And again, keep your focus on what you do want. Try not to sin. Try your best. It takes a little practice, I understand, but try your best not to send out mixed messages to the universe. Oh, I want this wonderful situation and thing, but I can't do that because of this, this, and this, because of all these responsibilities that I have. I can't because this, and that. Well, the universe says, okay, I was about to give it to you, but since you say you can't, I was about to deliver you the Three of Wands and say, let's get rolling with this thing. Excuse me. But if you insist, you can carry the 10 Wands. We were fixing to go on a walkabout. I had it all set up. Trip made. I guess some people can actually go to Australia, but whatever. We can do walkabouts here, wherever you're at in the world. Even if it's just going camping or going on a little walkabout through your neighborhood, briefly, like a real short one to get your head clear. So, number 4. Break old habits and addictions. Of course, we know about the traditional addictions to substances and, again, the screens. I'm talking about social media, computers, TVs. We're very addicted to those. All of these distractions, the 7 of Wands, all those distractions that come up and challenge us, right? We have all of those. Again, it's a little bit of an addiction. It takes us away from our own thoughts and feelings. We get to watch other people go through bullshit instead of us, right? It can be entertaining, and for entertainment purposes, for the most part, it can be okay in small doses. Another thing is old habits is procrastination and avoidance. Like, this situation really triggers me with some old stuff. I know I need to go balance my checkbook, or I need to deal with this, do the taxes, whatever. We have a lot of procrastination and avoidance because there's fear behind it. How much is it going to cost me this year? Or oh my God, I didn't have as much money, But if you go ahead and balance your checkbook without those negative attitudes, just like today when I checked mine, I was like, oh, I have more than I thought I did. What a nice change, right? To have more than you thought you did instead of less. Excuse me. I get to talking fast and here's the other one, the need for outside validation. Oh my God, what a bad habit that is. It's really great to get validated, to have praise and people to say thank you, for people to appreciate what you do. But if you're constantly waiting for outside validation, or the people around you, especially the people around you that want you to stay in this 10 of Wands situation, they're not going to validate you. They're not. They're gonna crush you. Oh, you want my validation? Well, really, you're not that good, and I think you should just give up YouTube. And you're really wasting your time. Come back over to my house and help me do all my stuff, or listen to me and all my problems. And don't waste your time with doing your work that Spirit asked you to do. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Or if you're always needing somebody to cheer you up and pump you on, you pump you up and cheer you on. Cheer you up and pump you on. But anyway, if you're always needing that to get up and going, what happens if they're not there one day? Or if they're in a bad mood and they don't feel like cheering you on? Are you going to give up? Are you going to quit? Are you going to be your own cheerleader? Okay? So again, letting all of this go brings us into a sense of freedom. And of course, number 555, it's asking us, what was the lesson? The true freedom comes from learning the lesson so we don't repeat it again, okay? Learning that lesson so we don't repeat it again. Remember, we have to get out of the victim mentality and to remind ourselves that everyone and everything that we're experiencing in our reality is just a teacher, so that we can grow more into becoming our higher selves and our soul selves, and align more with the soul mission that we came here to do. So, if nothing else, no matter how upset or how mad you are at someone, it's always one of the things that I try to get myself back to, even if it takes me a little while to calm down, is thank you for the lesson. To just say to the people, thank you, or the situation, thank you for the lesson. I have grown, I've become stronger. Again, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? And now it's coming back to, what is your true happiness? What truly makes you happy? Why are we asking this question again? because you create your own reality. And if you don't know what makes you happy, really truly happy, not what you think will make you happy, the house, the car, but then again, those are burdens. You have to pay for the house, the car, you have to pay for the man to go outside and mow the yard, or you have to do it yourself on your off time if you don't pay somebody to come and do the yard, or you know, do all these maintenance things. Okay, so yeah, you know, it's a burden. Everything that you own owns you. So what truly makes you happy? Is it free time, spending time with your loved ones, your family, your mate? Maybe you need more time just by yourself, enjoying Calgon, take me away in the bathtub, or just going on a little nature hike. What truly makes you happy? Okay, what would you do all the time, you know, as much as you could? Maybe not all the time, because anything we do 24/7 gets cold, but what would you do most of the time, even if you didn't get paid for it? What is your passion? Okay, so there we go. That is the 555 lesson, people. And here we go. So here's the reading. Now, one of the things I do want to do a little quick teaching on crystals. Here we go. We got the 10 of Wands, back to basic. This is about answering the call. You know, you think this is his life purpose? It might be for some people, but not for this guy. Not for this guy right here. He answers the call by co-creating with Great Spirit. Even if he has to go on the walkabout and scale down, go back to basics, maybe go to a smaller house, you know, not drive as fancy of a car, whatever he has to do to really get back to more himself. Notice this guy, he don't have hardly any clothes on. You know, he is definitely reduced down to the absolute minimum loincloth situation. Okay, so there you go. Just got his bag and his sticks, and he's ready to move on. And he's an older fellow too, so he's used to it. He's done this many, many years. Look how he's meditating. He's looking down at the ground, but it's not in the same way this guy is doing. He's looking down in meditation as opposed to exhaustion. Okay, so there that is. Stop complaining and focus your attention to the blessings of life. We just talked about that in the 555. You know, if everything we complain about comes to us. Everything that we look at and we praise and we say thank you ahead of time, knowing the universe is going to bring it to us, that's what we get. All right. So let's look at the key crystal right quick, and I'll get into doing this. Now I have this one for sale. This is an etched key crystal, and notice, well, you can't see me pointing at it, but you notice about where my thumb is. That's the key indentation. And this is the etched. That's where another crystal was. And this is the space where the other crystal grew. This actually would have been a really clear crystal if it wasn't for the etching. So this is an etched key, and a key crystal helps us to unlock things like blockages. A lot of reasons why we don't let go of the 10 of Wands, why we don't want to let go of that old paradigm, is because all of those old belief systems. We dealt with that with South Node and Sagittarius. Now South Node Scorpio is really coming and screaming about it. Saying it is time to release, to dead out those things. That's what Scorpio does, is it dead stuff. So it is time to release those old habits. And man, this etched crystals have all this knowledge. This is an old soul that lives in this crystal. Lots of information, can help you unlock the keys from your own subconscious mind. And it's a pretty good size one too. So that's one of them I do have on sale right now, but I'm just using it for an example. As you can see through, as you look through the side, you can see it's actually pretty clear, and that's the opaqueness is just from the etching on the back. But this is a very powerful etched key crystal. Definitely can help you unlock some stuff, or if you're a Reiki practitioner, energy worker, it can help when you're working with your clients, help you to unlock a lot of your clients' issues, you know, because a lot of stuff is stored, as you well know. A lot of those issues are stored up in our bodies. So that's a very powerful crystal to work with in those situations, especially if somebody has a lot of blockages. If you're dealing with some blockages of why you can't just let everything go and move ahead. So we're going to put these off to the side here. So this is going to be our theme crystals. Cards. Crystals Crystals and cards, cards and crystals, crystals and cards. Okay, so remember those. We're going to take those off the board. And I'm just going to bring out the herbal deck and say, okay, ancestor spirits, talk to us. Give us that reading. We know about 555. We've learned a little bit about wands, and you know, that's our passion and our creativity. That the wands are our fire energy, you know. And you know, somebody took too much on their plate. Now they're no longer passionate about it, and it just becomes a burden. You know, you don't want our passions to become a burden. So ancestors, what else do you have to say to the collective for this? It's what do we need to know before we go in the walkabout here, fellas? Huh, fellas? I did a reading for somebody 2-3 years ago in Australia, and I literally, before I did the reading, I started hearing a didgeridoo. And a fella, I believe he was an Aboriginal shaman, and he came and found me in the dream time. He knew I was going to come all the way to his country, and he was probably more in his 30s, mid-30s. He wasn't older like this guy, but he was really good, and he found me on the dream time and started talking to me and stuff. So he still comes through from time to time. I feel his energy out there. So hello, whoever you are, if you're watching. I hear ya. All right, now, sorry about all the card shuffling, but that's what they wanted, apparently. So, reverse 2 of cups, 3 of swords, okay. Yo there, peoples. All right, we got some healing going on here. That's that devil energy right there. You know, it's interfering with partnerships. Now, the 2 of cups can be the lovers, or it could be partnerships. I should have zoomed the camera out. See, now, I forgot to turn off the autofocus. See what I'm talking about? Stop. Oh, Lord. So we have the 2 of wands here. I'm going to have to go and turn that off. See what I mean? Ah, drive you crazy. See, these cameras been driving me nuts, and I've tried everything I could. Yeah, let's turn off that autofocus. Okay, now there we go. That should make us all less dizzy. I should have zoomed it out while I was at it, but all good. It's all good. We'll cram the cards up here. So we have, very interestingly, before I get on with the rest of the reading, we have this reverse 2 of cups. So there's a partnership. Now, this could be a love partnership, could be a business partnership. There's definitely some interference with some devil energy going on. That could be some obsession, some passion. Could be a breakup of relationships, like they were saying in 555. There may be some sudden breakups of relationships or friendships. Or even business partnerships, because there was some kind of devil energy, a lot of control, a lot of mental ego, mind energy with this 3 of swords situation, crossing. So I do see possibly some of you may have either lately or will go through or have gone through some kind of breakup in a situation, or dissolving of a friendship, partnership. However, there's some healing on the horizon with the Star card. But what I did see, that this situation, whatever it is, with this other person talking about distractions, you know, that devil is the one that definitely wants to keep you here. Okay? He wants to keep you enslaved under his thumb, doing his business. He doesn't want his partner to go out into the world to be this person. He wants to be the only one to do this, okay? You see what I'm saying? So this could be a boss, a partner, friends, family, you name it, whatever situation doesn't want you to see that. So there was kind of stuff, some kind of skirmish, some kind of hurtful words or situation that happened. Could even be right down to the ending of that friendship, love situation, or business partnership, okay? Because enough is enough. It's being controlled by the devil. It was at the base of the situation, at the root of the situation. But again, keep your head to the sky, to the star, to what Spirit wants you to do. Because Spirit, even if you feel like you're suspended and feeling like you're floating out there in midair for a while, Spirit's got your back, always has your back. Again, you could be dealing with a Capricorn, Aquarius. What I see in here so far, perhaps Cancer or Pisces. When I see the moon card, a lot of people say, I know it means Pisces, but I also see Cancer. Again, here we got the Two of Wands coming up. So there may be a new business partner. It could be trading out the partners and stuff. I'm not saying going from one relationship to another, but it could be, again, leaving a situation where you felt very burdened and controlled, whatever that means, but definitely has to do with the work situation for a lot of people. This is the Three of Pentacles, and definitely somebody looking out on the horizon saying, what else is out there? There's a lot of moon energy, a lot of secrets, a lot of things being clouded and occulted. So that's what they mean by the occult, is things that aren't seen. Okay, we got the Three of Pentacles in here. I'm trying to shove them all in here. Okay, I can go this way. That's where the camera's looking, that way. It's different every time. So there we go. We got that energy out there. The Chariot, it is time to move on. It is time to move forward. Again, like the 555 energy was saying, it's time to pick up your 3 wands, throw them in a Chariot, either sell, give away, or put on the boat the other 7 wands. We don't have time to deal with those immediately, but we'll deal with them later. This is that 2 of wands, making plans perhaps with another person, but definitely making plans to co-create that reality. It's going to create a tower there, people. It'll be a tower for this person trying to hold on to you with that devil energy, possibly Cancer, Taurus, Virgo, Cancer, or not, Capricorn. Sorry, I knew it was Capricorn because there's Capricorn. But not necessarily. This could be you and the Queen of Pentacles, ready to have more of a comfortable, stabilized, steady environment. But we have that tower moment and the wands. There's going to be some intense energies happening. We have the Ace of Swords reversed. So whatever kind of idea, and this is over here in the past. This goes over here in the past. I know I'm all over the board, but I understand where it's going. So, you know, this 3 of Swords, that Ace of Swords, whatever idea this person had, or you two people in the past had, perhaps, again, business partnerships, something went wrong with the situation. There was some hidden motives. Yeah. Ulterior motives is what I'm seeing. And somebody is waking up to the fact. For a lot of you, it is in the business realm or in your work realm, because it just feels like I'm doing the same thing. I'm just being a slave here. I'm ready to start my own business. Perhaps at night you've been staying up and burning the midnight oil, trying to decide how you're going to get started and go about that so you could be the Queen of Pentacles. Whether you're male or female, the Queen of Pentacles, she's very comfortable in her home. So I'm feeling home-based business and moving away from this old paradigm and situation. So let's finish up the reading with some native spirit cards. See what the native spirit cards have to say to the situation. This is, you know, again, I do see some old relationships in general breaking up, because some people are wanting to keep their mind to the sky and go in the direction of the star, and other people are staying down in the devil's world, you know, down here. Staying down that negativity, telling them same old stories over and over again, you know, staying in that victim mode. The devil, people with that devil energy, they're often in that victim mode, and they create victims by focusing on their own victimhood. So let's see what's going on. The Chariot, again, that's that forward movement. You know, got to know what you want, what brings you true happiness, get in your Chariot, or even so, just get on your feet and go on that walkabout situation. Oh, native spirit cards, what do you have to say? There's one. Eagle medicine. Ooh, that's powerful medicine. That is talking about spirit, talking about keeping your eyes to the sky. Focus on the eagle medicine. It is the medicine of the east. So if you're wanting to know what direction to go in, some of you may be traveling east. The eagle represents the medicine of the east, of illumination. So there's going to be some illumination brought to you about this old situation that I really feel for a lot of you will cause you to drop those extra 7 wands. And we have medicine bag. That is what you have in your medicine bag, just like this fella has here. This fella's he don't have much, but he's got some medicine in that bag, I guarantee you. That's what the Native Americans often wear around their neck, is their personal medicine, some things that they got in their walkabout in nature. It could be some seeds, it could be a stone or crystal or whatever you find that would be a little bit of medicine to put in your bag. Some people even put a little tobacco or cornmeal, whatever it is that you have for your medicine bag. Okay, so there's that. Any more spirit? They want me to pull one more card. Okay, one more. And again, be your own unique self with your own unique gifts. You're the platypus in your own world. And that still makes me laugh. And the prayer feather. Again, don't forget, Spirit, Great Spirit is here with you. You are not alone. Even with the star card, it's saying there's spiritual forces around you. You are not alone. So hang out those prayer feathers. Send out those prayers. And the universe will hear you. But remember to keep it in the highest possible vibration. Send it out as something you want. Don't ask for prayers to help you with something you don't want, because sometimes spirit can go hey yoga on us and send us lessons about more of the same, so you learn how to not to get in those situations in the first place, right? Universe is all about balance. You know, yes, great creator can stop all devils in its tracks immediately if it wanted to, but we came here in agreement that earth is going to be a land of contrast, and this is the devil providing the contrast that leads us to the healing. Because, you know, if the devil situation didn't get so bad and actually cut you through the heart, and this reverse Two of Cups, unrequited, unbalanced love situation or work situation, whatever it is, we wouldn't be going trying to find some healing and saying our prayers and reconnecting with the eagle, Great Spirit. You know, because sometimes these heavy situations, what sends us onto higher ground, keeping our heads to the sky. Okay, so everybody out there, please keep your heads to the sky. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Leave a comment. I love to hear your comments, and let me know what's going on with you. And if you're having any of these situations, tell me what 3 wands that you decided to carry. What are the 3 most important things to you? All right, until we meet again, sweet dreams, dreamers.